What's up with you, bro? Let's check it out. You from around here? Okay. So your question is, do we supposed to believe in Christianity? Okay, do you know where that term Christianity come from? All right. The Christianity term comes from when it comes to the Renaissance time. Do you know anything about the Renaissance time? Okay. During the Renaissance time, it started in 1463 AD, right? So at that time, that's when these so-called Caucasians were coming back into power. And at that time, in 1492, on down to the early 1500s, this is what the Catholic Church of Rome had established their image as Christ. As you can see right here. See the picture right here. Check this out, Glock. This is what they actually did. This is a white man. It's taking this picture and whitewashing it. This is the actual depiction of Jesus Christ right here. You know what I'm saying? So what these people done did, they done destroyed the true images of our forefathers and put it in their image and their likeness. So guess what? What comes with this image, it comes with another doctrine. Give me 2 Corinthians 11:4. Appreciate that. Because this is what comes with it. With this image right here, comes with the lies and deceptions, right? Read it.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached.
Say, whom we have not preached. This is our forefathers. These are the apostles. We have not preached this Jesus. Because it wasn't around at that time. Keep reading.
Or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received.
Yeah, there's another spirit that comes with that preaching of another Jesus, right? Keep reading.
Or another gospel, which ye have not accepted.
There's another gospel, which is called this Christianity, right? Keep reading.
Ye might well bear with him. For I suppose I was not a whit behind the very chiefest apostles.
All right, then jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. As the truth of Christ is in me, no man shall stop me of this boasting in the regions of Achaia.
Now, ain't no man gonna be able to stop this truth from being boasted of the true Christ, of the true doctrine, of the true gospel, that God only came to save the children of Israel. That's right. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Give me first Maccabees 3 and 48. Let's get more into clarity of that, what they did to our images of our forefathers. This is what they did to our images of our forefathers, to keep us destroyed and dumbed down as it being Imperial Race on this planet Earth, right? Because they will never teach you your true history in school. Because in school, what they, as far as they go, they teach us what? About slavery. We had iron yokes on our necks, segregation time, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Martin Garvey, civil rights, and that's it. That's it. But our history goes way farther than that. Because before the Renaissance time was the Dark Ages, right? So, have you ever heard of the Dark Ages? Okay, so the thing is, at 193 AD, that's when our people overthrew the Roman Empire, right? Then we pushed the so-called white man to the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia.
There you go.
That's where they get the term Caucasians, right? Then we ruled for 1,260 years, from 193 AD to 143 AD. 1,260 years. That's the Dark Age. Then from that, then we came to the Renaissance time. That's when they came back into power. But it happened in the process of time. But this is what they did. Read it.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Said the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their images in our Bible. Because the original Bible we had back in that time had the images of our forefathers, right? Give me Songs of Solomon real quick. You know about King Solomon. You heard about King Solomon, right? Okay, so King Solomon was the wisest king that ever walked this earth, besides Jesus and Christ, right? Okay, so we're going to get a depiction of identity of how King Solomon looked, right? Read it.
This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. Verse 1. The song of songs, which is Solomon's.
This is Solomon saying this. Now read verse 5.
Verse 5. I am black.
What did Solomon say?
I am black, but comely.
He said he's black, but comely. That means he's black and beautiful. Right? Keep reading.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me.
Yeah, because the sun has looked upon me. When we stay in the sun for a long amount of time, don't we get darker? Because of pigmentation in our skin, right? Right. Say, he don't look upon me because I am black. This King Solomon. They come from the tribe of Judah, because his father was King David. King David also had to be black too, right? Okay, so the first man that God created in his image and in his likeness. What color do you think he is? Genesis 2:7. What color do you think he is? Okay, so we're going to get that from the Bible. And we're going to use common sense, right? Read this.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
Say for a man of the dust of the ground, right? So, wherever you see grass, trees, life, where they have fertilization, what color is that dust of the ground? It's brown, from light brown to dark brown. The deeper you dig, the darker it gets.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. So Adam, which was made in God's image and his likeness, right? First, give me Genesis 1. Give me Genesis 1.
Bring it out.
Give me Genesis 1. Genesis 1 and 26. Read it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
And who?
In our image.
Who made in God's image. So we know that he was made of the dust of the ground that has been in the skin, because our skin contains the same minerals and nutrition as the soil.
That's right.
That's scientific fact. You know what I'm saying? That's scientific fact, right? So why would they hide that from us, right? So let me show you this. Give me Revelation. Give me Revelation real quick. Give me Revelation 1 and 14. It's talking about Jesus Christ, because this image right here is lies.
Right.
This is to deceive us and to keep us destroyed from our true heritage and who we truly are as a nation of people. Because all this stuff stems from them destroying us from our true heritage, and all this is connected. What happened to us as well.
Right.
All of this is connected, and it's a reason why this stuff is happening to us, right? So we gonna read this. Read it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Said his head and his hair were white like wool. He doesn't have woolly hair, right? But he has woolly hair, right? Okay, so he has white woolly hair. Okay, so this image right here doesn't have this, because like I said, they took our true image of Christ and they whitewashed it. Read it.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1 and verse 24. But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God, and the wisdom of God.
Read that again.
But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God, and the wisdom of God.
Christ is the wisdom of God. That's why his hair was like pure wool. Go back to Revelation 14, 1 and 14. Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Said eyes was as a flame of fire. Give me Genesis 49 and 12. He said eyes was a flame of fire, right? So his eyes not the flame of fire. When you look at this depiction, this is not how exactly Christ looked, but this is a more biblical depiction of Christ, right?
That's right.
He said eyes is red as fire, right? Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
He said eyes shall be red with wine. When Christ drank wine, right? You know what I'm saying? His first miracle, he turned water into wine. Okay? So he got white woolly hair, as white as snow, and he has red eyes, right? Keep reading.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
Okay, you take your shoes off, the skin at the top of your feet matches the rest of your body, right? So when John the Revelator looked at Christ's feet, he said his feet was like fine brass. What color is brass? Brown. So when you take anything in a furnace, when you pull it out, it becomes darker, correct?
Right.
So Christ is what? Christ, yes, Christ is black.
Right.
Christ is black. So check this out. Our forefathers that was in Egypt, God had our people deliver out of Egypt, and God made a covenant with our forefathers, right? Give me Deuteronomy 29:1. Deuteronomy 29:1. Now the thing is, God made a covenant with our people, right? And that covenant when He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to live by as a nation of people, right? How we supposed to conduct ourselves as a nation of people. And we agreed to keep the commandments. And God said, if you keep the commandments, I will reward you with blessings. If you don't keep the commandments, you will be penalized with curses. Right? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
With the children of Israel, right? Give me Deuteronomy 28:1. Alright, so the key audience is Israel, the children of Israel, right? Alright, now Deuteronomy 28:1, read it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
To what?
And to do all his commandments.
To do all his commandments, because that is the covenant he made with the children of Israel. Keep reading.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
He said he will set us on high above all nations of the earth. That's our rightful place, right? So what that sound like to you, Glock? Huh? No, he said if we keep his commandments, right? Obey him and keep his commandments, he'll set us high above all nations. What that sound like? No. He said, we keep his commandments. This is the reward, the blessing. Okay? He said, we keep his commandments. We set above all nations on the planet of earth. What that sound like?
That's
exactly. That's what we're supposed to be. That's our true rightful place. Give me Exodus 19:5. Give me Exodus 19:5. That is our rightful place, bro. He said, we keep his commandments. We'll be above all nations on the planet Earth. What we supposed to be? We supposed to rule this planet Earth by the ordinance and government of the laws of God. You know what I'm saying? Read it.
So book of Exodus chapter 19 and verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant.
Keep my what?
Keep my covenant.
And the last scripture we said, keep my commandment. But in this one we said, keep my covenant. Right? Keep reading.
Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
See that? He said the same thing. But he said covenant instead of commandment. It's the same thing, right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. Now, we're going to show you why we went into these things we went into. Why we at the bottom of society. And why is we being pushed these lies and deceptions of us being a nation of people, right? We're going to show you. Read it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said, if you don't listen and obey my voice and keep my commandments, all of these curses gonna come upon you, right? This is the penalty of the punishments that God is going to put upon our people, right? Read verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
They're going to bring you to Egypt again, but this time by cargo slave ship. Deuteronomy 5 and 6. Check this out, God. You see this sign over here? How do our people get over here on this side of the world? By boats, right? By cargo slave ships. Because they deemed us as their property. You understand? So this is the means of transportation they use. By cargo slave ships. Now the word Egypt has a meaning. He said he's going to bring you back to Egypt again. Because our people understood back then that our people were serving in slavery in Egypt at that time. Right? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5 and verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
So Egypt means what? Read that again. Out of the land of Egypt, out of what?
I am the Lord thy God.
Read it again. Land of Egypt, out of what?
Out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
Said from the house of bondage. So what does Egypt mean? Bondage. There you go. So what's another word for bondage? Slavery, captivity, right? That. Deuteronomy 28:6 says. So what we're doing, we're showing you the prophecies that God said was going to happen to us when we strayed away from Jesus' command.
That's right.
Because this was written over 3,000 years ago. You understand? So this was never shown to us in these sun worshiping churches. By being taught another gospel, Christianity. You understand? All right, read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into bondage again.
With ships.
Into cargo slave ships. Keep reading.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Say sold to who?
Your enemies.
It's going to be sold to your enemies. Who we being sold to? Exactly. Being sold to our enemies. Right? Keep reading.
For bondmen,
for slave men,
and bond women,
and slave women,
and no man shall buy you,
and no man won't be able to redeem you from this captivity.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.